community can we achieve things that people deem impossible or people deem we are not worthy of. And today we are celebrating my book signing, and I have no shadow of doubt, that in the years to come, our community and our children will have a better tomorrow. And I have no doubt about it, because your presence here is a testament of it. Many people from different background and different walk of life, different generation, and it's what we need at this moment in time. And if I can say this, and I believe with all of my heart that you are contributing to one of the greatest missions one can set out to accomplish, which is leaving a lasting legacy. In the sense that we all long for, dream for, our name to be remembered in the best possible light. And investing in this generation couldn't be a much better way to do so. And when I talk about Lakay, people, Haitians, quickly remember, okay, Lakay, that's home, that's where I'm from, my homeland, my place of birth. But yes, it is that. It is what that means. But for me, Lakay is a concept. It is a place when you arise from your slumber that's there with you and remains when the sun sets. It is also a place of serenity. It's a place of hope in the midst of all the issues that's going on, or all the troubles around you. For me, that meaning is where you find hope in the midst of hopelessness. It's where you go, and that's why people say home is where your heart is, because at home you feel safe. In your Lakay, you find ways to recharge and to go back outside and fight whatever thing comes your way. And that experience was no different than me, and I'm pretty sure it's not different than yours, in a way that we long to make tomorrow a better place. But for us to do that, we have to continue on that journey of perseverance, endurance, and fight a better day. So after today, or before even tonight, a lot of people already refer to me, is a published author, which is cool, it's a cool thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But for me, I see myself as a storyteller. I see myself as someone who has the utmost opportunity to share stories many other people didn't have opportunity to do. Either from talking about my childhood in Semak, and I talk about that first chapter, and how I talk about the little girl walking on the street giggling, while the mom is behind them running. You say, you're gonna be late. Stop talking. Just rush to go to home, to go to school. Or I talk about the fact that when you are waking up, you don't even need an alarm clock. You have that rooster behind your house, that is waking you up every morning. It's that beauty and that sense of home that keep us together. At the same time, I talk about the experience. I wouldn't be surprised if none of you know about it or a few people know about it. The massacre that happened in Semite in 2004. It's where you have two groups of opposite political views. They share the same hometown. Their kids probably go to the same schools. Yet, they find a divide in who in power and who is not in power. Do they support and who they don't support. Ultimately, that drives them toward where they have to kill each other for that view. And for me, it was like, how can a place so beautiful, everything is so together, you're playing hide and seek, you're playing, all these things, but at the same time, someone can let evil get the best of them and then to destroy it in that sense. But I also talk about the story of me coming to the U.S., the fact that us Haitian, at least I know, whenever they know you are going to the U.S., they think, man, you're going to walk on gold. You're going to be walking and see the tree, the green tree, and just take it. Life is beautiful. And in many ways it is. You find more opportunity than you could have ever dreamed of here than in Haiti. It's a fact. But at the same time, it wasn't as easy as they portrayed it to be. So that ultimate culture shock to realize, man, you gotta sweat. You gotta go wake up at 5 a.m. if you're in the service industry. If you don't have a car, wait for that bus. At 2 p.m., the Miami sun is just wait for you. If the bus stops, there's not a place where for you to sit. You have to wait on it. It's raining, or you have to run because the bus just passed you. You have to run behind it trying to to make the driver stop. It is hard work. You don't just come and sit and lay and expect that better tomorrow. But also, my Lakay is not only that, it talk about a story of an immigrant, someone who comes to the U.S. and ultimately become undocumented. The fact that you have to live with that hope any day can be your last. You have to walk with that expectation. Just someone in your car make a police stop you, and then here you go. Welcome to Chrome. But nevertheless, like I say, I always find someone where I can rely on that can help me remind me about my Lakay, my home, that place where I can rest and continue. Ultimately, I have Teacher Colin here, and I met Teacher Colin in North Miami, the adult school, like trying to learn English. And then that connection, what I call the impactor, the one that the influencer that just touch your life and then determine for it to be a better. And then ultimately, I had the distinct honor and privilege to work with Mr. former Mayor Myron Rosner, which I admire very much. And those stories point me from different place to different place. And Lakay bring me to what we're gonna call in that chapter, the Trail of Dream. A campaign that set out to have undocumented people set out on a journey from Miami in front of the Freedom Tower to Washington, D.C. in front of the White House, walking from January 1st to May 1st. Working for their family, working to meet other people like them and share their stories, and in hope embolden them to step out and share their stories. But it didn't stop there, because it was never where we needed to stop. Because Lakay is not just a story of struggle where you always find that the main character fighting for his life and desperately. And in many ways, a lot of stories you've heard about Haitians, that's how it is. You have to struggle to no end, to no avail. Like there's no hope. But toward the end of the chapter, or toward the end of the book, I took the principle of hope, and I shared it toward the end of the chapter. And then in the introduction, I talk about the concept of greater possibility. When you have that greater possibility and what it can do. Today we are celebrating the Battle of Vertières, the last battle in the Haitian Revolution. But that came out to be a successful one because at one point they imagined for themselves that greater possibility. Like they themselves can be free. They themselves can decide about their own tomorrow. And they did it not by themselves where the slave decided to do it, but they had that unity among them, that togetherness is live free or die. There's no in between. It's either we all fight for us to be free or we all die. That imagination. And I think about what can our generation imagine? What is a greater possibility can we imagine? For us Haitian or for us, well, from other background. What is that thing? They're going to call you crazy. They're going to call you a dreamer. And when they say that, I said, then let me dream. Because anything ever achieved in life, anyone we ever truly respect, start with a dream too crazy for people to understand. Yeah. A dream too big for him for other people to comprehend. And that last chapter, I said, the country we ought to dream for. And then don't expect me to give you a 7-point how it's going to be, but what my hope is for you to entertain your spirit, for you to imagine that greater possibility for yourself, that greater possibility for your family, that greater possibility for your community. In the end, that greater possibility for your own country. If you're American, what do you ought to see in this country? If you're Haitian or if you're from any other place, what do you ought your country to be? Is it equality? Is it prosperity? Is it peace? Is it, I don't know. You decide. But I want you to imagine that greater possibility. And I think that's, if at least one person at least think about that greater possibility, then I think my hope or my goal or my mission for this book will be sufficed. Because I want you to be hopeful. I want you to never lose hope. Either when I talk about the audacity of faith, in a sense of being undocumented, going to Miami-Dade, and then couldn't pay for my school. I have to find place to find the money, but I just can't. And I'm looking at those classes was about to drop, and I'm going from and then again, and someone asked me who are all these people earlier, and I said all these people, and I mean all of you, impact me in a positive way. Either you know it or not. And I was grateful to meet Professor Pradel. And I'll go to Professor Pradel's office, and Professor Pradel said, no, go to this office. And I'll go to that office, and they say, okay, the person just step out, you're gonna come back. The next day, I went back the next day. No, okay, it's not the person, so you have to meet that person. No, okay, the person, okay. Yeah, like, it's just, by the end of that semester, everyone on campus knew me. I still go to Wolfson. And they still know me. And as a matter of fact, they knew, not even, I know the other car, people who kind of know it, but they also know me, my face. Because one lady from the financial ed told me one thing, and she said, I can see you are a good boy. You are not one of the others. I want you to go to the legal department in building 1, 4th floor, talking about Wolfson. I also want you to go to, it was around the time Miami Book Fair. I want you to go to the Miami Book Fair, volunteer there, because you're gonna meet people. And then he said, but don't go to the library, because if you're gonna go for a read, awesome, but you're not gonna find anybody there that's gonna help you out like this. And definitely don't even go to the gym, because if you are not gonna try out to do exercise, there's like, what are you gonna need in the gym for? So go to those places. And it's because of them, because they took a moment to give me that advice, that I am the person here, because I am able to publish a book. Nope. I don't expect people to know those stories. But I do expect when people see me, at least to know I didn't get there all on my own. Or at least it wasn't just something that overnight propelled me to where I am. There's someone that took a chance on me. There's someone, even when I mess up, can call me and help me out. So I am going to read a passage, and I was having issues. Angie, I don't know if I told Angie that, but I was saying, man, okay, I still don't know what part of the book I need to read, because I know for me, everything is good. But when I was doing the interview with the reporter Miami did, and then the editor-in-chief asked me, you talk about that massacre. I looked for it, and I didn't find anything about that massacre. Can you talk to me about it a bit? And I was more than happy to talk to her about it. But again, I come to the realization that that was the reason I talk about that chapter. Not because it was easy, because you're relieving something. It was, yes, a therapeutic moment, but I hope people to hear about it, read about it, and then to know what happened there. Not to seek vengeance, but at least to know something happened here, and how can we stop, how can we prevent ourselves? How can we look at the clues to make sure something like that never happen again? So that is the goal of me talking about the massacre. And to put you in context, we had two groups in Semak, one called Ramikos. It was in La Syrie where I was. And they were against the government. And at that time, it was former President Aristide that was in government. And one was called Baleuze was pro-government. And then the idea of Baleuze is not a bad thing. It just means cleaning and sweeping, like the place. You know, it was the idea that started with a good beginning where community can come together and clean their community. So as things progress, there's always that understanding. Ramikos will always do the rally and not go to Baleuze's headquarters. Or Baleuze will do their things, but not go to the Ramikos place. There was that. It wasn't written, it wasn't stated, but at least that was what at some point they can agree on. But as things would progress, and then you have the former military starting in the north and going and coming down, Ramikos feel emboldened to go, not only do the rally, but to move past the headquarters and chanting, calling it's time for IC to go. And since I live in La Syrie, I was always that kid that liked the action thing. You know, I don't like people to come and tell me. I need to be there and then listen to people. So, and every time my mom would be in Port-au-Prince and then check the news. Okay, my mom held my hand and that of my twin brother, Davidson. She assured us to keep our focus on getting inside the bus. She said, quote, "If we can get inside that bus, everything will be fine." Thankfully, the person who was in charge of getting the bus filled recognized my mom because his son went to the school where my mom was a principal. He stopped everyone and made a place for us to get on the bus. The moment we're in, I cannot put in words the relief and satisfaction that shone in my mom's eyes. While the bus was leaving, I looked out the windows and saw people fighting to get to another bus. It was like I was in a nightmare and could not wake up. All the stories I had heard in the past from my mom, and that could not compare to what I saw coming. Somewhere inside, I wanted to stay. I wanted to find safety under my own roof. I wanted to be home. Something I held so dear to my heart was vanishing right in front of me and being replaced by one of my worst nightmares. I would never see the street of Semak the same way. Would the voices of the merchants still be there when I return? Or rather, if I return? Would what happened to Augustine Zilema, which I spoke to earlier in the chapter, would what happened to Augustine Zilema? They were old and had lived in La Syrie all their lives. My mouth was shut. My spirit was crushed. But inside I was crying, yelling, and begging for peace, for reconciliation. The further the bus went, the more I realized that this was not a dream. It was real life. And thinking about the good old days could not block out the cloud of fear heading toward our beloved city. So that gives you the clue to questions. If you do have any questions, be more than happy to take them. Love them. And then I finish it and I say this. That is the Haiti I know. That is the Haiti many of you believe can come about. That is the country we love. That is the full picture you not find on TV or on those NGOs' websites. Hardworking, courageous, intelligent, warm-hearted, hospitable, I am as optimistic as you are and confident about the future because I know that my generation, Haitians and allies, will rise to drive out the darkness that has covered us for so long. This is where I talk about, and this is why it means so much to me, because it helps me to transcend what happened. Because a lot of times when something happens, we think about it, when we become more pessimistic. But for me, it allows me to say, man, if something as bad like this can happen, it will force me to believe something as good can also happen. So that's why, I have multiple things, but that's what my answer would be: looking and going back to Haiti and see these people working to feed their family. It's very encouraging and inspiring. Yes.
I have a comment. I met you it's probably about almost 9 years ago.
Yes, that's true.
And when you came to our home about a month ago, after you left, I reflected on probably what the best part of being elected official was. And it was actually meeting somebody like you and Carl, the people that I interacted with, and how they have matured over time. And I look at you today and I'm like, it's amazing. It's just the evolution of the years that have gone by and what you've done. We're very proud of you, David.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And it goes the same way. It goes the same way. I appreciate it, and I love the family very much.
No, I'm just here for David, and I told him, and I'm just going to leave it at that this book transcends a small community, but it transcends, it crosses over to everybody. And this touches every single person. And he is just an incredible, you know what, for your son, for the other one that's coming into this world very soon, David, you are a role model and a mentor. And you have touched so many people, and I'm so incredibly proud of you and your journey. And I'm looking forward to so much more because you're an incredible human being. Congratulations.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff Staple. Thank you, Myron, for coming. These are fans of David.
Family.
So.